Hi, today we have a beautiful special guest. Her name is Ifat Kent, and she's the owner of the Yoga Nest and also a presenter, pre and postnatal yoga at the Yoga Expo, April 14th. And hi, Ifat. No, it's so nice to have you here.
Hi, good to see you. Thank you for having me.
Yes. So your class is going to be pre and postnatal yoga. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the importance of having a prenatal practice and a postnatal practice for expecting and recent mommies?
Okay, so for expecting moms, I feel that yoga is super important because during labor, we use different breathing techniques, mostly slow, deep breath, but we do practice different breathing techniques in class. It's important that their foundation is of strength. It's important that they know what they can and cannot do. And we also have the social aspect of the class, which is a lot of sharing before the class. So moms can ask questions, can ask me or other moms questions. We teach them a little bit, I infuse childbirth education in the class. So I prepare them specifically to handle labor. Some of the moms are all natural and they want to try no drugs, vaginal birth, and some moms want to know how to handle labor up until the point where they might get some relief from drugs. But regardless, we respect all decisions and we try to encourage them to listen to their body, which yoga helps with that, allows you to connect, and really about community with other moms, either moms that never did this before or moms that are already in the business of taking care of babies and can give advice. So I feel like the classes are very social.
Yeah.
And so moms really learn from each other as well as myself, but we prepare them for stretching and strengthening. And really, I talk a lot about labor. So breath and, what you're going to think about when you're having a contraction, right? What do you think about when you're having an uncomfortable situation in life?
Yeah.
It's not really comfortable.
Yeah.
So, it's yoga, but it's life in 9 months, and then how to prepare for that event. And also after, once you have a baby and the baby cries all the time and you're tired, how do you take 5 minutes for yourself to just sit down and breathe? And then there's, of course, the physical aspect of it. So if your abs are separated, what do you do now? Your pelvic floor is weak. What do you do about that? And so on.
Okay. No, and it's really interesting, especially for yoga teachers that maybe are looking to take your class and learn how to, really work with the prenatal students, things to look for, things to avoid, special things to, take into consideration in their teachings. I think that's going to be a really great opportunity for them to learn and connect, So tell me also, so the class is pre and postnatal. So we were talking a little bit before that, there's a lot of similarities of what happens before you have a baby. Maybe you've gone through the contractions, you went through the hard stuff, the labor, but tell us a little bit of like what a mommy that maybe just had a baby would expect in your class.
Right. So posture. The mom that just had a baby and is either bottle feeding or breastfeeding tends to hunch her back. The shoulders tend to get stressed. Pelvic floor, like I said, women might experience incontinence. They sneeze, they pee on themselves, they don't know what's going on, but your pelvic floor works very hard for 9 months, especially the last trimester as the baby is growing. It has to hold a lot. So we talk about strengthening your pelvic floor. Your abs, like I said, might separate during pregnancy. So we talk about how to safely bring them back together so you don't have that separation for the rest of your life. Plus, what if you're planning to get pregnant again? In postnatal yoga, we can do it with or without the baby. So we learn how to incorporate the baby into your yoga practice as well. Whether the baby is there or not, I talk about that.
Okay.
And relaxation, like I said, if you're
Mm,
stressed out and you're not sleeping or you're not taking care of yourself. So we're just trying in a holistic kind of way to talk to moms and understand their needs and then give them what they need or try.
yes. Yes. Oh my God. Of course. Right. Everybody's so different, and it's a beautiful thing to be able to, like you said, to have that aspect of community where everybody can share experiences. And I know you've had kids, so
Yep.
been there and done that, right?
Yes, yes, I've had 3 kids, and I had 3 kids in 3 years. So I felt a lot of back pain, a lot of chest. My breasts were really humongous after having my babies. So my shoulders were tight. I mean, I had to practice a lot of relaxation and also learn
Mm,
how to take time for myself because the lack of sleep will make you crazy. You
yeah.
will feel like a different person. So we also talk a little bit about that, about what those changes might do to your body, but also to your mind. You know,
Yeah.
you sometimes really feel like you're not yourself anymore after having a baby, and depression might happen, or just the baby blues. And we really try to talk to moms in the classes about
Hmm.
such a huge variety of things that they can do for themselves. And also, you know, since I don't believe yoga is the only solution for everything, I try to involve other professionals in the area. So I know a lot of massage therapists. I know therapists for postpartum depression. I know midwives who will
Mm,
encapsulate their placenta and all kinds of stuff. Breastfeeding specialists. We hold postpartum circles too. So we hold breastfeeding circles and we hold a birth trauma circle, and we just try to really be there for them.
yeah. Yeah. So tell me a little bit about your experience, because obviously, you haven't just had the experience of having birth, but tell me about your training. I know you're from Israel, right? And you have the yoga nest. So tell me a little bit about, like, what brought you here, what you've studied that you really love, and tell us about your center as well.
Okay. Well, yes, I was born in Israel and I started practicing yoga there. I actually started practicing meditation there with the Osho Center.
Oh, nice.
Uh, yes, and I did love it so much, but I really started practicing when I came here, and I started with the Shivananda, and then I continued into prenatal yoga when I was pregnant. So something about it just felt so right to me. I was able to, you know, get out of the house and
Mm,
for an hour and a half connect with my baby. And I suddenly also felt like my body was good and beautiful and strong
mm,
because I never felt that before. Um, so there was some magic in it. And then it definitely helped me to have a natural labor. My first was really, really long. So it wasn't completely natural or drug free because I ended up being transferred to a hospital, which
okay.
I talk to
Wow.
moms about that too, you know, plans not going the way you want
Yeah. Right.
to. And then, you know, after my second was a water birth, and my third was a home birth. And I've explored hospital, birthing center, and home. And throughout my pregnancies, I did yoga, and I also did yoga after with my babies. That I don't know, I fell in love with it, and I said, this feels so good to me right now. I want to give it to somebody else. So when my baby was a little older, because I had 3 babies in 3 years,
Right.
uh, so when my last one was 2, I said, okay, now I can start taking more time and leave the house. And I did my training with Ananda in Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And then I found prenatal vinyasa training. The ladies from California, and it was fun. I loved it. And did that, and then I continued for my 500-hour training.
Yeah, I know how
And
it is. I know how it is.
yeah, so you know, because you love something, you want to get better and better at it. And I took
Yeah.
some trainings for doula, so I was a doula for a while,
Oh,
and now I
okay.
work with other doulas because running the yoga nest takes all of my time.
Yeah.
Um, But at the Yoga Nest, I offer a lot more than just yoga. I feel like I said, there's so much more that I feel women and families need. So we do music classes and we do support circles, and we're starting to offer massage therapy too. And what else? Community acupuncture.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah, all kinds of really, really cool stuff. We bring childbirth education classes, so we help parents prepare for birth, breastfeeding circles, all kinds of stuff. I can't even think. There's so much because I'm trying to bring in a variety of classes that will really help families,
Yeah.
not just moms. I love moms,
Yeah.
but not just moms.
Oh, that's so nice. So, where is the Yoga Nest? Tell us.
The Yoga Nest is in Cooper City. It's
Okay.
on the corner of Sheridan and Flamingo, if you know the area. So it's on the border of Pembroke Pines and Cooper City. But it's super easy to get to from Davie, Plantation, Cooper City, Pembroke Pines, Miramar. We're in Broward.
Okay,
So,
right. So pretty easy access.
Yeah.
And so I know we're giving everybody who comes to your class at the Yoga Expo a free trial, a free class to the Yoga Nest.
Yep.
So I'll make sure to give you guys the information and to share the day of on April 14th.
Mm-hmm.
And tell us one thing that you think would be a really valuable tip for mommies to be, like something that you're like, really, no matter what you're in your pregnancy, this is one thing that you could take away with you today.
I would have to say my biggest tip for most moms before and after labor is that everything's temporary. And all you have to do is really focus and breathe for about a minute or two. And then everything seems to be better. Even, specifically during a contraction, contractions don't last more than 2 minutes. Unless you're super stressed.
Okay.
Then they might feel like they're lasting longer, but that's because you're stressed. But in life too, everything, you just take a moment or two, you just center yourself, you just focus on your breath, and then everything seems to be a little better. Like you can handle things a little better. That would be my tip.
That's awesome. No, that's great. It's great because, a lot of the times we feel like we need to do a lot of complicated things in order to feel better, to look better. And it's all about perception and the way that we, connect with ourselves. So, you don't necessarily have to do, full split Hanumanasana in order to be amazing. You could just breathe and connect, right? Yeah. Oh, I love it. I'm super excited to have you. So everybody who's watching, remember pre and postnatal yoga. So if you have any mommies to be or mommies that just had a baby, babies are free at the expo. But come check out Ifat's class, and she's a wealth of information, and we're really, really lucky to have her. So please invite your friends who would benefit from sharing with her at the expo and at the Yoga Nest.
Yes.
Yay. So thank you so much. It was so nice to get to know you and to have all this amazing, we have such a great community of like spectacular teachers, not only from South Florida at the expo, but from New York, Australia, Ohio. We have a really great crew, Pennsylvania. So I'm so blessed to be able to be here and facilitate. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. All right. We'll see you guys April 14th. Get your tickets if you haven't got them yet. And namaste.
Namaste.